Hello, welcome. This is part 6 of my spiritual awakening. This is my story. For those of you who've only just started watching and this is the first video you've watched, I suggest you watch the other videos because we're quite deep into the story now. And to really get a good, to catch up and get yourself to where you need to be, I'd suggest watching the others. But just a quick overview anyway, just in case you haven't got time. Basically, I found myself in prison. I started reading. I really wanted to change my life. I started reading kind of self-help books, but realized they weren't self-help books. They were actually, books that were revealing a deeper me, basically. And some of these abilities that I was learning, I mean, psychic abilities, astral projection, and a lot of these were in meditation, but the books I was reading were all helping me move forward. And I just had all the time in the world, so I just put it all into practice, and this was the end product. Basically, what I'm going to talk to you with today, I'd like to talk about it. I was going to leave it till quite late on in the story, but my friend's just got out recently, and he's a massive part of the story, and I just want to give him a shout out. He knows who he is. And this is how where we went with meditation was sublime. I'm telling you. I mean, for those who watched the last one, what happened was just crazy. So in the last video, like I said, I released Kundalini and I was astral projecting, but it was on I was going places with this that baffle the minds of modern day science. Anyway, this guy came on the wing and he was from Leamington, where I'm from. And I mean, I'd seen him around the prison, but we didn't really have a big conversation or anything like that. Just say, oh, safe, you're from Lem, etc. Nice to meet you, whatever. And he ended up moving on the wing while I was having this awakening, and while the mass awakening was happening on the wing as well. And one day I don't smoke, and he came to my pad, and he was stood outside my door, and I know usually that, these things happen for a reason. It was just the way that things were happening for me. One thing led to another, and if someone came in my pad for anything, I knew that it was, that it was a kind of a message, and I needed to learn something from them, from the universe. So anyway, he stood outside my pad, and he's like, "Tabs, you got a Rizzler?" And I'm like, "Mate, I don't smoke." And he's like, "Oh yeah." He goes, "You don't, do you?" He was like that. And he stepped in. And I'm like I always do with everyone, I'm like, "What do you know?" And basically, ever since that day, it was like, he was telling me about, I mean, he had mental health issues, apparently. So they were medicating him. And he kept having these thoughts, and I said, "Wow." I said, "Look at this." And I'd show him all my work and all the dreams that I was having. I used to keep a dream log because I was lucid dreaming as well at the time. And I'll tell you about that further along. But some of the messages, some of the things that happened to me in my lucid dreams, basically he'd written down all this stuff. I'm like, wow. Because they told him to keep a log of what he was experiencing, these voices in his head, or whatever the situation was. So he did, and is basically what was happening in my dreams, and what I was being told in my dreams. He was being told by voices in his head. So we kind of hit it off, and he wanted to know more. So I put him on the path of meditation, and he picked it up really, really fast. For me, it was like, I mean, everybody was reading and doing their thing, but not that many people were meditating hard. And, he was putting the work in, and we were really, really reaping the benefits. I mean, even on association, everyone's out doing their thing, we'd be sat in my pad, just sat facing each other, just meditating in the dark, it was just, it was so good and refreshing to have someone to sit with you, because it was kind of lonely for me. I mean, it was almost like I was directing the awakening on the wing, but it was like no one not that many of us wanted to sit. wanted to sit and meditate, but I was on it. Like I said, I was like in between 3 and 6 hours most days. Sometimes my head would fall off and whatever. Or, I was having a bad day, even though I was positive. I'd still walk around with a smile on my face, but we're all in a bad situation, and it was depressing sometimes. I wanted to just get out and see my family, but yeah, so it was refreshing to have someone that would sit with me anyway. Um, and yeah, it really, really started kicking off. I mean, our energies rose and rose and rose. He was lucid dreaming as well, which was like straight away, he picked it up so well. And one day, one day he said to me, Tavs, because we'd set a time for meditation and we'd meditate together, but we're all in our different pads, all dotted across the wing. So there was me, my pal, who I've just spoke about, and another one called Combo. Um, just I'll use his nickname just in case these people don't want their names mentioned. Anyway, he said to me, he goes, Tavs, I'm coming to see you in meditation tonight. 7 o'clock, he said. 7 o'clock, I'm coming to see you. I'm like, yeah, whatever, mate. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, I just want to sit and see what happens. I want to astral project, but he's like, I'm coming to see you. I'm coming to see you. Anyway, I'm sat there, 7 o'clock. I've watched what I was watching on the telly or read a bit in my book. I can't remember what I was doing at the time. And 7 o'clock on the dot, I've sat down. I've sat down, I've closed my eyes, I've got in a really, really like calm state of mind. That this is what you do in meditation. I was just, concentrating on my breath and just letting thoughts go. And all of a sudden, in my mind's eye, to my left, he was it was like a mirror in slow motion. It went like this. It went out like that, and it opened, and out of this window was my pal, Tav. I'm like, yeah, this can't be happening. This cannot be happening. Anyway, I just carried on. I had a great meditation, flying through the air or doing what I was doing again. And yeah, I was like, yeah, I'll just imagine that because we just spoke about it. Anyway, in the morning, he's run because it was so exciting. Every morning, we used to wake up, and no matter who was on the path, so exciting because stuff had happened to us every single night in either meditation or lucid dreaming, or someone would see something on telly. They'd all come to my pad, and we'd all talk. What? It was amazing. I'm telling you, it was the most amazing time of my life. It sounds so mad to think where I was, to have this sort of feeling all the time. Like, I'm so happy. But yeah, he came in my pad, and he was like, Taz, a weird thing happened. He goes, I was looking through meditation. I was in meditation. I was looking through a tunnel. I went through this tunnel, and all of a sudden, this like broke this sort of barrier, and I could see you at the end of the tunnel. He goes, so I shouted you twice. I'm like, what? And I didn't tell him until later on that day that that it happened. It really did happen. He came into my space. He came into my energy, into my mind. Okay, it was unreal. I told him, but it was amazing. Like, how can you do that? Like, what the hell? But he spurred me on. I'm like, I'm not having. No way he's getting better at me than this. I taught him. He's not gonna best me. So that was it then. So we were. It was like a little competition then. For me, it was anyway. It probably was for him. I mean, I spoke to him earlier, and he said like he classes me as his spiritual guru. It was heartwarming. I love you, mate. You know you are. But yeah, he spurred me on. This kind of like competition. I'm like, I'm not having this. And yeah, so we started lucid dreaming. Okay, now I'd been lucid dreaming in these dreams. I'd become fully awake within my dream, and I was doing some amazing things. I mean, in there you can fly, you can do anything, literally. And I'd walk on water, just using water as a bouncy castle, like jumping up and down like it was a trampoline. It was some of the stuff I was doing there was amazing. And I'm going to talk about a lot of that stuff in the future videos, but But yeah, these occasions, I mean, because we were doing what we were doing. Now this is where it might get a little bit hard for people to understand, and they might think that you are a little bit crazy, because we attracted a bit of attention. We were being watched. We were being monitored. Okay, and not by who you think. Now we were doing a lot of work. We were doing a lot of work, and around before my pal got on the wing, basically, somebody else moved on the wing. Now straight away, because everybody's doing these techniques and that, we become psychic. Okay, we had feelings for things, who wasn't right, who was. Anyway, all of my pals around me. I mean, about 7 people around me all the time would sit in my pad, and we'd have tea and drink, or they'd smoke burn or whatever. And this lad come on the pad, and straight away he was on to me. Like, he'd come to my pad, and my pals would sit there and be like, "You're dodgy, you are. You're dodgy." I'm like, "Leave him alone, man. What's wrong with you?" I was just like, I wanted to wake everybody up. But little did I know, and he came clean in the end. He told me the extent of that we had attracted attention. Okay. He, in the end, he saw such a positive effect that we were having on everybody. He told me he'd come clean in the end. He was like, "Tarves," he goes, "I've got to tell you now." He said, "I've been sent, bruv." He goes, "I've been sent to you to derail what you're doing, to pull the plug on what you're doing, to stop you waking this man up, and this man up. Because if you wake them up, like, this is the start of something that they will not be able to control." He said, "But I don't want to do it anymore. I'm not here for that." He goes, "I've seen what you're doing. I want to come to the light." He told me everything about his past, that he was involved. I mean, his granddad was a Nazi, okay? His granddad was a Nazi, and he was involved in the dark arts. All right, as crazy as this seems, it was true. It's true. Okay, I'm not going to expose his name for the people that were on the wing with us. You know who he is. His granddad was a Nazi, and basically he used to do all this dark stuff. Okay, the total opposite of what we were doing. He was, he worked for the Illuminati. Okay, he signed for the Illuminati because, for one purpose, to derail what we were doing, because they did not want this getting out on such a massive scale. And there was one person in particular that they wanted for me not to wake up, and I won't mention his name, but he, let me just say, if it goes off and war does happen, I want him right here. Trust me, because he is a geezer. I'm telling you. In the end, he did his job. He did do it, and it was too late for me to retrieve it. He had, without reading all the books and everything that he was doing, he was seeing it. I can't even begin to explain. But yeah, so, and now months down the line, so Josh, said his name. He came, he came to me, and yeah, he came towards the light in the end. He wanted a bit of the positivity, and he didn't want them controlling his life anymore. He said that he'd had it all of his life, that he had this thing called a handler, that basically, I think something was done. I'm sure, and I am sure that something was done using a technique called MK Ultra. I'm sure of it. I mean, it's so dark, the most darkest of environments. It's so bad. But in the end, he came to us, and yeah, they told him that they were going to punish him. And 2 weeks later, his grand died. Yeah, and told him that it was them. So, but yeah, we had attracted attention. So, me and James were going a step further. I didn't care. Like, watch me. I'm not interested. We were being spied on, and yeah, James, especially when he came on the wing. I mean, we did that meditation thing. But then within the lucid dream, I mean, he found out that when he become lucid, he's like, show me how it all works. I mean, what a question. What a thing to intend to do in a lucid dream. Boom. And the next thing you know, he told me the dream, and it was like an edge of a bubble, that each one of our dreams is within a bubble, and it's an endless amount of bubbles. But what you can do is you can actually switch in and out of them. And we realized that we could switch and jump in and out of other people's dreams. Fact. Okay. And now this is when, I read this book by Carlos Castaneda. They were doing exactly the same thing. These dream masters are called Nagals. Okay. Now, well, in Mexico they are anyway, because this is where the guy was from. Basically, these dream masters, they can teach their people how to tour dreams and how to jump into each other's dreams. You can make your own dream as a double, if you've got a partner. It's just endless amounts of possibilities that are within you, these secrets are being kept from you. Unreal. So anyway, we realised that we could go in each other's dreams. And how you do this, I mean, any lucid dream technique, the first thing is intention. I intend to do this. I intend to do this tonight. And, a lot of the time, sometimes you might intend to do it, but you might not have a lucid dream. And the more you meditate as well, it's all about being mindful in your dreams. So you're in a dream and you can train yourself to do it. There's so many techniques. You can look them up. But yeah, one night we intended to go into each other's dreams. And little did we know that who Joshi was signed for, the guy that I said signed the Illuminati. I mean, as mad as it sounds, I promise you, this happened. This was real. Okay? Now, basically, we intended to go into each other's dreams, and that night I found myself confronted by very, very high up people in the dream, and they approached me, and basically within my dream they were a lot more powerful than I am, and they really, really ripped me apart. Okay, they ripped me apart, and had in James's dream, they'd locked him in, because when you're in a lucid dream, you can say, download blah blah blah. A lot of the Matrix is on lucid dream, and a lot of it, when they go into the Matrix, load up this tank, give me weapons. When you're in a lucid dream, you can do that. Just like, I want weapons, bang, and they'll fall out of the sky, or I want girls. The next thing you know, about 10 of them walk through. Yeah, I've just let my secret out, haven't I? So. But you can do it. I promise you, it's the most amazing feeling. But anyway, yeah, I was confronted by these people, and they ripped me apart. They absolutely tore me to pieces, and they locked James in a field. He was like, "Take me to Tarv." Nothing. Take me to Tarv. Download dream plan, blah blah blah. Because we'd really gone to town. We'd written dream plans. You can do it. You can program in your dreams to do this. And they locked him in this field. He couldn't get out. Anyway, in the morning, I ran to his pad like, what happened in your dream? What happened? I wrote mine down, because I always used to write them down. I've got 2 years of dream log. It's like that. I'm telling you, of all the lucid dreams, all the things that I did. Amazing. And he's like, Tav, I was locked in the field. I was like, mate, they terrorized me. Literally, they absolutely tore me to shreds. They were trying to put me off carrying on, and they did not want me and James in the same dream. I'm telling you that. They did not want it, because we were so lucid. We were awake. Like I'm talking to you now. That is how I was in my dreams. It was like another world, another reality. So it was like I wasn't sleeping. I was just awake there. I was awake in my dreaming world, and I was doing whatever I wanted, But yeah, I mean, the people at the top, they have all the secrets, I promise you. And for those of you, and even when I say the word, there's been that much conspiracy theory, Illuminati. I'm fucking telling you. I'm telling you now. Literally, I have experienced them. They have approached me, And further down the line as well, they tried to bribe me to keep my mouth shut about all of this because they knew what I was going to do. They knew that I'd have this effect. I mean, starting with Leamington, but we're going to expand. We want everybody to know who they are. Why wouldn't you want superpowers? They don't want you to have them because then we'll all be on an even keel. They're above you. They've got all the money. They've got all the power because they use these techniques. They're bringing lots of powers back from lucid dreaming and programming their mind. Some of the stuff, I mean, I'm still in the dark. Literally, that's how much they know. And I can do all of this. It's next level. But yeah, we started astral projecting together as well, me and James. And I carried on. I mean, they tried to scare me so many times. Promise you. They do not want you to know what I'm saying. Promise you. Now, you can say what you want. I'm mad. Whatever. I don't really care. It happened to me. And it happened to him. And it happened to every single person in there. You know, they were sending people to derail my mission. I'm telling you. I nearly woke the whole wing up. It was a mass awakening happening. We were all, each one of us had a different gift as well, and a different, you know, some of these things. I mean, James, he meditated and he got to as high as you can get. You know, I said about last time, I got to my higher self. He got to this place, and it's called, in the remote viewing book, it's called mental cinema. And he knew that he stood in front of a screen in his brain, and he could view anything, past, present, future. You just go like that. Go on then, next bit. Mental cinema. And some of the other stuff, it was just absolutely unbelievable. I swear to God. I mean, remote viewing, if you go onto YouTube, it won't tell you the extent of and like the real techniques of the top remote viewing techniques. You know, ERV, extended remote viewing. It's a superpower. It's a superpower. It's amazing. I've done it. It's just amazing. You can view anything. You can view anything in the universe. They've looked at Mars and everything. You know, they're looking at planets deep under the ground in Mars and stuff like this. It's a fact. They're keeping it all from you. Trust me, research this stuff, please. I beg you, because this is evolution. This is evolution. But it's always been in here. It's always been in here. You just got to waken it up. You got to awaken it. You know, paying bills, doing all this stuff keeps you away from it. You don't need, literally, if we all came together and we all learned this stuff, you wouldn't need it. You don't need to. Anyway. I'm going to leave it there for now, because obviously that's a lot to take in, and you know, like I said again, I promise I'm not a liar. Why would I stand here and say this stuff to make myself look a weirdo? I wouldn't do it, would I? Come on. I've got a lot about me. I'm not an idiot. Why would I stand in front of you for people to say, oh, he's lost the plot? Come on now. Do you know what I mean? Why? Because I sat and closed my eyes and forgot about my phone and stuff like that. It's all I did. You can do all this stuff. You know, it's like you can view the pyramids, you can view the Amazon jungle, all of these holiday destinations in your mind. You can go there without a plane. Obviously, it's nicer to be there. I'm not saying don't go there. I'm saying that this is the possibilities. This is what you can do just by closing your eyes and relaxing. It's amazing. I'm going to leave it there for now. But thanks for watching. Sorry if I've blown your mind a little bit too much, but you know what? You need to know. I think you need to know. And if you're watching this and you're this far in without laughing, then you're definitely on the right path. I promise you. And Paul, thanks for watching.